So guys, in this video we will be discussing about the Linux file structure. Now type ls slash. Now slash indicates the root or the starting of the directory hierarchy. This can be treated as slash, and the path from this slash is considered as absolute path. Now in this root directory I have the some folders which are essential for running of the Linux and also maintaining. I don't know everything in this Linux, but I will explain the most of the things I know. So the first one is bin directory. You can have the binaries in the bin directory. Now if I say ls bin, type ls bin, now I will see some binaries, and we have seen the pwd and these ls, and these are the actual binaries which are located in the usr bin, and we can run these binaries which are in the green color. And this dev directory contains the device drivers and device files. Let's say ls dev, and these are the loop drivers, and these are the tty virtual terminals, and we'll be discussing all these virtual terminals in later videos. And these virtual terminals are nothing but like number of terminals you can just access using the shift F1, or okay, I don't know, I just forgot the combination. And these device drivers are located in the dev directory. You can also check the null directory. Okay, there is somewhere null. Okay, let's read this. Okay, now the lib64 contains the libraries, and which are the 64-bit libraries are the shared objects. And you can see there is another directory lib, and this directory also contains the shared objects, but this lib64 contains the 64-bit shared files. Now this MNT stands for mount point. If you have any other partitions or any pen drives, and those will be mounted at this mount point. Now if I say ls mnt, so there are no mount points currently. Now if you put the pen drive or some other thing, then you can automatically mount it to this mnt folder. Now the root folder contains the users of the root permissions, and this root folder contains the home folder for the root users, and it obviously contains the root users home folder. And the next one is snap. These are the snap is the package management system for the Linux, which has been introduced from Ubuntu 18. And these snap also the package managers like apt, and you can install any package using snap install, and you can remove easily using the snap. But these snap packages are somewhat slow when compared to normal packages, because these snap applications run a virtualized environment, so that's why they are slow. And this is the temp directory, and that temp directory contains the files, and after you restart the computer, the files in this temp directory will get deleted. So these temp is like temporary files. If you want to store for particular session, you can store these files in the temp directory. And this boot directory contains the files required for booting of the Linux. It contains the files for the grub bootloader and other files which are required for booting. And this HC folder contains the configuration files of the applications and the users. So if you have any application, if you save the settings, then those settings will be saved in a configuration file, and that configuration file will be stored in the HC folder. Okay, and the op directory, you can add some additional softwares into this op directory. And usr directory contains some important information about the user applications, and user bin contains the user binaries specified to that particular user, and any data contains of the games will also be contained in the user games, and the include and the library files and sbin system binaries. and the source files. These are all stored in the user directory. And the CD-ROM is just to mount any old type of CD or DVD ROMs, and the home folder contains the home for many other users. If I say ls home, so I need to specify this one. So I can say I had these two directories, Nikhil and Nikki, which are the two users on my computer, and this home directory hosts the directories for these users. And inside these users you can have desktop, downloads, music, documents, etc. And the lib folder contains the libraries or shared objects. And this proc directory contains the process information whenever there is a new process has been created, and inside this proc directory a folder will be created on the process ID of that process, and you can see like memory mappings of that process and also uptime of the process in this proc directory. And the sbin contains the system binaries, and these binaries are similar to the binaries, but these binaries will give some specific information about the system. So finally we will be discussing about the var directory. In the var directory you will have the backup files and some other important files. So let's see. And inside the backup files you can have the HC pass to WD file backup and also the shadow file backups, and the cache contains the some local cache, and the library lib contains some libraries. And whenever any software is going to be installed, and in the installation time these folders gets populated during the installation. As you can see, there is a lock folder. It means that whenever you are using the installer like sudo in your install, then you can only install one software at one time. You cannot install multiple softwares in the Linux at the same time because of this var lock file. So it will currently log the process of the sudo installation, and then it will be only permitted to the one process. So once we look at this software management, I mean installing software, then we will type the two installation commands at the same time. Then you can see the first command will get executed and the second command will give the error like var lock disable, delete that, or something like that. And this snap contains the snap packages, and the temp directory contains the temporary files. So I think these are the basic Linux file structure you need to know.